Da-dee-da-dee-doo. Good that you're watching the weekly news stream I do, of course, here every week on the React channel. Thanks everyone for already waiting. It's of course Summer Game Fest. I had to quickly do some short form videos, so my freelance editor can work on that and yeah, do that while I'm streaming. So during the stream, content gets made. When I'm done with streams, new content will be published. It's the way of life. So yeah, let's see if we are actually live. Yes, we are. Thanks everyone again for waiting. I'm sorry. It's the Summer Game Fest, and yeah, that means that there's tons to discuss. It's going to be a fun one because what we are going to do is we're gonna update something that we have, of course, been updating here every week on this channel during these streams. I'm gonna quickly also post on the main channel that we are live, so more people can join. Of course, the game calendar. And I think that's going to be exciting. Live now, discussing the state of play and other gaming news. Whip. Good to see everyone, by the way. Thanks for joining. So yeah, we're live as well. Klunky klunk. Because of course, during the state of play, we got a ton of new release dates, and something that I've been saying for a very long time is now, like, it's more clear than ever. And that's, of course, the bloodbath that is September and August and even October now as well. It's not like sometimes you gotta celebrate your wins. That's how I'm going to start this. Because if you look at the tweet that I posted before the state of play, let's see. I think, and I of course also did a video here on the React channel. This is the tweet that I posted, and let's go through it real quick and then see what actually happened. So of course we got this. I mean, this was already confirmed. Rayman was here. Faye was here. Fair Games was not here, but I said during the React channel video that I did not think they would do it because, again, you don't want to have these live service games in the state of plays anymore. It's not exciting for anyone. Potential first party reveals Until Dawn 2 was, of course, there. We got this. 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 From more to less likely. So yeah, we didn't get these, but I thought they were less likely. Wild, but not impossible. None of these, but yeah, they were wild anyways. And things we will not see were all correct too. So I think that was a pretty solid score for the predictions for the state of play. And also looking at the release sort of calendar that we have here, we can kind of fill them in now. And then we will see how crazy it is. So yeah, this was sadly, this was more like wishful thinking. I really wanted Control to not be here, but it is. It actually should be here. So we now know that this game is September 24th. And when we start to fill this up, you will see how crazy things get. The demo is, by the way, out for Animusha. Let me know if you played it. September 25th. Okay, this one, let's put it here. Fable, of course, got delayed. As was also kind of like we knew, like, I always thought it would not really happen this year, even though I wanted it, but again, I'm fine with it. I'm more than fine with it. So we got this. Plague Tale, the rumor is August 27. Star Wars Razor was that. I think Kena is now delayed because it was, of course, not at the state of play. Lords of the Fallen 2 is probably going to be August as well. Tomb Raider, yeah, rumored delay. This was correct. February 12th, 2027. And there are even more. I think we can like go to... And I think I'm gonna like do a proper topic about it. Let's go to Games 2026. Let's see if they have the proper list. If they already updated it after yesterday. And we still got some like, okay. I don't think, no, this is not updated. Let's see who has it. I know VGC has it. Remote Nolo, Phantom Blade got delayed. Yeah, that's correct. That is indeed correct. So we can also update that. Which I'm like kind of okay with, actually. So it's now here. And this is now the closest game to GTA. And I think I'm kind of... GameSpot was the one that was not up to date. And I'm kind of... I think this is kind of a red flag. Like, as you might know, I'm really looking forward to Phantom Blade Zero. I think it's going to be an amazing game. But them doing October 29th tells me that they need any hour of the day that they can get. But that October 29th is the last possible day this year that you still want to launch if you want to launch, yeah, this year, basically. And them, like, going all the way to October 29th tells me that they maybe even need more time. But they don't have it. Because they, like, going in November, that's a danger zone. You don't want to be there. And December is also, you will be forgotten. People will still be playing GTA for a long time. And otherwise, you're in February already, and then you're moving 3 months. And February is actually starting to fill up now, too, with Fable and Tomb Raider. And I'm sure more will drop there as we continue the year. So... this is a kind of a red flag for me. It's like, I think the game is going to be great. But I'm also like, delay it. I don't mind it in 2027. But they, of course, still want to get it out this year. But going here is like, they're tipping their toe in the danger zone. Yeah. Yella, hey, JorRaptor, what's your top 5 of the upcoming games? For me... top 5 in like, I'm really looking forward to Black Flag, of course. Fable is also there. Jedi 3 also there. Witcher 4, I don't even have it here, but yeah, those are like games that I can't wait for. Well, so yeah, and Intergalactic would be there too, and Phantom Blade Zero. So those would be my picks. Wolverine. What did we all think of the Wolverine gameplay? I think it looked great. But I think my prediction right now is, of course, we had the Insomniac leaks. Where basically they said, okay, we're going to do Spider-Man 3. And after that, we're going to be a full-on X-Men studio. So, Wolverine. Then we will get the other games. And my prediction is they will not do that anymore. I think they will do Wolverine and then they're done with X-Men. Maybe crazy, but that's my feeling after watching that gameplay. Something feels off. And I'm not saying it's gonna be a bad game. But I'm also... I don't know. There's some... It's looking at this, how they've been rolling out this versus, for example, a Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 feels way more celebrated. Wolverine feels like a number for them. Like we have to get it out, get it over with. And they're, of course, still going to make sure that it's the best game they can possibly make. Looking at the Wolverine gameplay, and we can like kind of grab it. And I'm really curious to see. I hope we see Rise of Hydra at Summer Game Fest in 2 days. You think we get Iron Man? Thanks for the super chat there. Appreciate it a lot. So, I like Rise of Hydra. It's of course the Amy Hennig Unreal Engine 5 game. Marvel 1943. We can like it's very hard to make predictions for that game, basically. Um. Okay, I want to talk Wolverine, but like I don't want to get negative because I'm not saying it's gonna be a bad game. I am just pointing things out where I am like cutting corners is maybe not the best way to say it, but I think they are not good. Like this is the only Wolverine game we get. I think. Reason for it is I think there's a lot of Spider-Man 2 in this game. They really clearly just put Wolverine in a Spider-Man game, and they did not take the time enough, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing here, to make him a completely different character from Spider-Man 2. And why I'm saying that is that, like, he plays a lot like Symbiote Peter. Apart from, of course, his more iconic moves and stuff. But he has the abilities that that Peter has as well. Basically, the bar that we're filling up, it's kind of the same. Like I think it's very cool that we can do stealth. That's awesome. But here, we see the abilities right here, right? Also, when you completely fill the bar, you get the sort of symbiote mode, basically. And we will see that a bit later. So my thing is that if they really had plans to make Wolverine like this next character that they're going to build multiple games on, they would have given him a bit more of its own personality. But I'm just seeing a lot of gameplay from Spider-Man 2 in here. I'm not seeing anything that makes him unique. Again, it's kind of crazy to say, but like there's just too much Spider-Man 2 here for me. If you like me played that game a lot as well, you kind of see it. If you look through the unique animations they made for him, then you kind of are seeing Spider-Man 2. And again, I don't think that's like a big issue. I still think it's going to be a very cool game. But we, of course, and I just can't shake that. Here, now they're going in crazy mode. So the symbiote. See, we have okay, you can do unlimited takedowns, just like Spider-Man 2. It really feels like I just can't shake the news story where the Brian Horton, of course, the creative director on this game, left for Perfect Dark. And I'm not sure what he's doing now. I think he already went to another team. But I would not be surprised if this game had some troubled development and that they're now just let's get it over the finish line. Another kind of thing with this motorcycle scene, they are really only showing 5 seconds. I think I would be shocked if the motorcycle scene is actually this short. But why are you only showing this? They're showing from point A to B uncut gameplay, and then they go to the motorcycle and they cut it. They cut probably because I don't know. It's not as like exciting if you look at it for the during the whole thing. I don't know. Okay, people are saying that I'm talking nonsense, and I totally get it. You tripping? Okay. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I see no Spider-Man 2, and I've played that game 2 times. Okay. I'm just seeing a lot of Spider-Man 2 systems and not enough new gameplay systems in this game. I think you will very quickly pick up this game. Here, also this. You use that bar just like in Spider-Man 2 to heal yourself. Obviously, it's a bit different because now when you die, you use it instead of being able to heal yourself probably at any point. So they switched it up a bit. But that is all I'm going to say. Look, I think the game looks awesome. I'm going to have a blast with it. 100%. My thing mostly is that I wish it would feel a bit more like a new game instead of Spider-Man. And I think it's gonna feel a lot like Spider-Man. But I might be wrong. Yeah, Swagger Jagger, I've beat Spider-Man 2 times, and I agree. This does look kind of like Spider-Man 2 with a Wolverine skin over it. That is kind of my... And they have, like, the damaged suits, which is awesome. But it is a lot of, like, Spider-Man 2 systems. Like, what is this game bringing to that Spider-Man formula? That is my question. And after seeing this, I'm not seeing anything. They also, like, talk about, of course, having your companions, and you can do the team-up animations with them. That's kind of like the Black Cat... Like just like Spider-Man 2, yeah, your companions, which was awesome. They already said that we will not be able to play her though, even though that was in yeah. So that is interesting. But yeah, having these combos, yeah, you have the combo takedowns. It's all cool. I love that. That's great. But I'm gonna stop because I don't want to be negative. I'm not saying this game is gonna be bad. For sure. I think it's going to be a great game. 8 out of 10. I think it's going to be fine. Like, I have... Insomniac is very high for me. And I expected a bit more from a Wolverine game. Like, I think if a different developer was making this, it would have felt more like a different game. And that is kind of my take. But I still think... It doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that it will feel more familiar, I think, than I would have liked. I would say 7, 10 at best. I have higher hopes. I think it's going to be 8. But I want to know, like, that's my big thing. I want to know the length. I'm kind of like... I've said it for a long time. I think this game is 12 hours. Because if Spider-Man 2, to do everything in that game, is 20 hours, it's an open world game that those usually are like double the size or double the length. If even Spider-Man 2, an open world game, is 20 hours, then a linear game where it feels like they are, I don't want to say it, cutting corners here and there. I'm really curious what the length will be on Wolverine. I really hope. 10, 15 hours. And we already had this conversation with 007. Where people are like, 15 hours, I'm not going to pay full price for that. Which I think is wild. Because I would take a 15-hour game that is amazing from start to finish. Thinking about 007, I'm already like, oh, that was such an amazing experience. What an amazing game. Looking at the games that we saw today, like, only GTA 6, I think, for me, can be game of the... Like, GTA 6 or Phantom Blade Zero are, I think, the only 2 games that can probably exceed 007 for me as game of the year. I think. Or Onimusha, but... nah, I think 007... Such an amazing game. But either way, like... Again, if we already have that discussion with 007, then I'm curious what the discussion will be for Wolverine, and I hope we get answers. And I also hope that we can just play the game. I'm just, like, I want to tell you as I see it, and I think Wolverine is gonna be, it's not going to be in the upper echelon of the PlayStation exclusives. It's not going to be talked about in the same breath as a Spider-Man 2, or as an Horizon Forbidden West, or as a God of War Ragnarok, I think. And I did expect that from a new Insomniac game. That is all I'm saying. But I think there's a lot happened with that game behind the scenes. It's never good if a creative director leaves the project midway through. That's never good. So I really think the people that, like the Ratchet & Clank guys, they got in and they were like, okay, we're gonna clean this up, we're gonna push this over the finish line, let's see what we have to do. And I think that feeling, that's the feeling that I kind of get. The problem with 007 is the second half was just too good. I think I love the whole package. I love the whole being like basically a student living in an apartment and then going to the club and then having a mission there. Oh my god, I loved it. I loved it. Speaking of 007 First Light, is it really that good? Yeah, it is really that good. What do you predict the fate of the Venom game will be? I mean, we will see it. I think we will see it next year, probably, maybe revealed. But I think Insomniac, after Wolverine, I hope they. It's been great. It has been really great. Their sort of the amount of games that they've put out during the PS5 generation. Like, it's the best thing that Sony bought, for sure. Still, 100%. But I do think, and I hoped, especially with Spider-Man 2, that they would be able to crawl to that Naughty Dog Santa Monica level, right? And I think they have the talent. But it did not happen yet. So I hope that the next game after Wolverine that they put out, that we can see that glimmer of they got the stuff, that they can really be on the 9 out of 10 like level. And Spider-Man 2 for me, I think that still is a really good game. But there's still many things that I think that they could have done better. Thanks again for the other super chat there. Control Resonant, I'm getting if Rise of Hydra shows Summer Game Fest, you think it can be better than the Avengers game? No. I really think we should not put anything on Rise of Hydra showing up, coming out. Like, I think I could see an announcement at one point where, like, we're canceling the game. It's not happening. Remember, all we have seen for Rise of Hydra is a really polished looking, like a very deliberate trailer showcasing the graphics. And they looked great. But a game, like showing your game without gameplay, like what you're actually doing, is already a red flag. So I would not put anything on Rise of Hydra being good. I hope so. I mean, I think the setting is awesome. The developers, again, but there are just too many red flags. If you delay that game indefinitely, we have not seen gameplay, I don't think it will show up. I could see a world where it doesn't even come out. So don't put a lot in that basket, I would say. To be honest, Forbidden West was a letdown, and I get why people say that too. But I also think, if you look at all the other freaking sequels for the Sony exclusives this generation, if you look at what Forbidden West did versus Zero Dawn in terms of gameplay, in terms of new machines, in terms of world, in terms of flying machines, in terms of the amount of content and all that, and the motion capture scenes, like, they put a lot in that game. They put a ton in that game. And I would, like, what I said also on Twitter yesterday was this. Santa Monica is already able to reveal their next big single-player game. God of War Ragnarok released after Horizon Forbidden West. In a different timeline, we've already had the reveal of Horizon 3 by this point. So yeah, basically, we're now getting a new God of War game. God of War, Laufey, should actually, like, rumors are that it's coming out sooner than you think. Like, maybe even spring next year. Before Intergalactic. It could launch before Intergalactic. Horizon 3 might not even launch before 2030. Because they're working on Hunter's Gathering. And that just pains me. Like, even though Forbidden West for some people was a letdown, I would kill for another game like that anytime soon. And I really think as time goes on and we've not really seen a game like Horizon since 2022, it's special when those big games drop and, again, the new machines and... I want that. I want that. But it's so far away. It is so far away. Armani Coleman, thanks again for the super chat. It's not cancelled, still good for this or next year. They're just running out of time. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. But I'm not seeing anything with Marvel Rise of Hydra that makes me convinced that they're actually on the right track and launching. Let's see. We're gonna do a video on the release dates because it's getting crazy. But let's do some questions and then focus on the chat first because it's very cool that everyone is here. The fact that Red Dead 2 didn't get Game of the Year should tell a lot of people something. Just saying. But that was like because God of War 2018 came also out, and that's also one of the best games ever. So, like, I struggle to think that there will be another game taking Game of the Year from GTA 6 this year. I don't think there's another game on that, like, at that caliber. There has been no Baldur's Gate or Elden Ring level game this year. And I don't think there is next to GTA. So I would be shocked if GTA doesn't win Game of the Year. I think that says more about the quality of GTA than the quality of the other games. So, yeah. I'm just worried for the new Laufey game. The name sounds ridiculous. Yeah, I hope I'm even pronouncing it right. Subby1, could we see Jedi 3 in Summer Game Fest? That is possible. There is a possibility that Friday I will of course be live reacting on the main channel. And yeah, if you're on Twitch, then yeah, just this channel. Yeah, there is totally a chance because Fallen Order and Survivor, there was like 3 years and a few months between them. And if you calculate that amount of like years and months to the Survivor release date, you would be in September 2026. So they're totally taking more time with this next game, and I think that's only good. But yeah, they did not have COVID, so that would help Respawn there too. But I think that's a 2027 game at the latest. So look, I updated my banner as you might have seen. I put Cal in there. I'm like manifesting it. Totally, it could be at Summer Game Fest, it could be later, but I think it's gonna happen very soon. Okay, let's talk about the new God of War then. People are asking about that. Look, I think that the game looks amazing. Like, this is another one of those... I think it's going to be very exciting because I think there will be many surprises in this game. The possibilities seem kind of endless in a afterlife of the gods. Like, they can bring back a lot of characters that we fought with Kratos, especially in the Greek games as well. And we of course know that they're doing a trilogy remake. So we will still see Kratos. But yeah, I would not be surprised. And I saw actually someone say that, I think on Reddit. They can, and yeah, that is very smart actually. They can just update these or make these bosses that we killed with Kratos, update their model already for this game and then use that as well for the remake. I think having the combination of mythologies, going for a more kind of fantasy style, having her already with a ton of combos, that was another one of my big takeaways. They knew that you cannot have us play this character and then start out with just a basic attack and a heavy attack, right? They knew that they had to immediately make her look insanely powerful because that would make sense. And that also, like, she is way more powerful at the start of a game than Kratos ever was. And I think that is very exciting because that means that, yeah, it's going to be very fun to play already from moment one. Having more of the aerial back, having the double jump back from the older games, also things they will probably do for the trilogy remake, of course. Like, I would not be surprised if actually her combat style is a lot like what Kratos will feel like in the Greek trilogy remake. So, I think that is pretty interesting too. Like, we know Corey is heavily involved with this, so I think that's very good. Like, Corey is not like fully directing this game. They have another gameplay or like game director, but he is now kind of overseeing basically the whole franchise. And there are not a lot of game franchises these days where you have that luxury, where there's like one person, like the mastermind behind everything, and where you can have a lot of these connections. For example, with the Assassin's Creed games, they try it, but it's always mostly a different team working on these games. So you cannot get as deep as they can get with God of War. And I already saw like comparisons here where, of course, at one point Kratos like lends a hand and helps Faye, and how that could be connected to that one time in Alfheim where Kratos went through that portal and saw Faye as well, or that time where he would like fight Thor and died, so then appeared in the afterlife here. Like, I think there will be many also answers from God of War 2018 and even Ragnarok in this game. So I think it's gonna be a very cool connection, and it's gonna make this whole like franchise even bigger. And I think it's good. Like, at one point they had to make a different character, and like, I think that this only makes it more exciting for the future. Like, I love Kratos, but I also am open for a different character. And I really think that having Faye now doesn't mean we only get Faye games. I think they will do maybe one Faye game, and then afterwards, like, I always thought Atreus, but I don't know. I thought it was. I'm gonna do a poll now, bijvoorbeeld. For example, like, I'm curious. Would you have preferred to play Faye or an Atreus focused game? Would you? Can I still? Like, so I'm not like fully sold yet on the like they're really following a blueprint here. That is where I'm kind of like, okay. Um of course we had these like crazy Thor and Baldur fights, and yeah, in the opening as well, and it worked for those games. And I'm totally open to it, but I hope they kind of surprise us a bit more. But I also think they will. Like, I think Santa Monica, we thought when we heard Faye game, oh, it's gonna be a prequel, right? But no, they actually went, like, they made it way more substantial to the current timeline, and it's going to be a timeline that lives, like, it coincides. It's happening at the same time as 2018 and maybe even Ragnarok. And then with Corey as the mastermind of this all, I really think that we can see some really cool sort of things where, what if in like 2018 Kratos kills someone who then appears here and only appears later on, like only arrived later on, because we killed them also very late in 2018 or in Ragnarok. Like, I think there's going to be so much cool stuff that connects these games. And seeing her fight style, it's And I'm all kind of happy with that too. Like when I heard like DMC, that's what they were like describing it as, in terms of like the rumors. I thought it would be way less like the regular God of War combat, but I'm actually happy that it still feels a lot like how Kratos fights. It's probably a bit lighter, but yeah, like I think they're going to give her different weapons. Like I think it's exciting that the possibilities seem kind of endless, and they can really go crazy with this. And they're once again, yeah, kind of toying with our expectations by making it the afterlife of the gods. Like, who would have predicted that? That is such a cool, I think, a cool setting where they can really go crazy. They can add new gods, like we're fighting here, go Egyptian, like all the mythologies are combined. So, like, I think it's still cool if Kratos goes to Egypt in a future game or whatever, but I think this is such a cool setting because now it's not like, oh, we will have this god, and this god. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, they can do a lot of cool things. So it makes me kind of excited also about the future prospects of the series. So I'm open minded. Like, I think it's cool. I hope. Like, I think Yui, like, of course, Jack Quaid as the Cube is funny. I hope it still hits those emotional notes, though, because that's, of course, what made 2018 and Ragnarok very, very stand out. And having, like, a talking cube is kind of, like, more comical. It's not like... maybe we will feel for the cube. We probably will at one point. But still, like, I think that sort of... I basically hope that they will still hit those mature, high emotional notes. I'm not really getting that from this. But, no, I think this is exciting, and we know we will get more Kratos in the trilogy remake. Like, I think it's good that they announced that too, because I think otherwise people would be like, oh, are we now playing Faye for a couple of games? I think this is gonna be a one-off, and then after that they might do a tier game where like they can go crazy with this. I think that's exciting, and most people prefer this over an Atreus game. This game looks amazing. It said that there are people out there being sexist over it. Yeah. That's the day and age that we live in. And look, it is... I mean... like, there is totally something you can say about the fact, like all these studios that started out with... like, it should not... like, I'm not saying it matters at all. I don't care who I play as long as it's like a cool character with cool moves and that they flesh out and have a cool background. I don't care what they look like. But yeah, sure, it is interesting that if you look at all the big PlayStation games that are coming out now, yeah, the female leads are like way more prominent now than they were before. But you could also argue that's maybe a good thing because there were like a lot of male leads in the past. But I hope they switch it up. And, look, we know, like, who says we only play Faye? Like, in God of War Ragnarok, we suddenly control Atreus. Like, what if at one point we meet Tyr, and then we control Tyr in this game already? Like, there are so many possibilities. And, yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting overall. I think we'll play Tyr. Yeah, so, yeah, great minds. Great minds. I don't like the Guardian of the Galaxy thing going on with the cube. Again, I get that. Yeah, I get that. It's a bit less serious, but it's a bit more of a very fantasy fairy tale. Yeah, I think Sony's like biggest thing right now is that they are desperately trying to reach that new audience that they want it to be for all ages, and that is really hurting some of their franchises that, yeah, first were not afraid to be for the mature audience and like not get away from the gore, because yeah, there's not a lot of gore in this game, and that is what's really killing the Horizon franchise right now. Like, I played the new playtest, and I can talk about this. There is a new villain in that game. So, of course, Horizon Hunters Gathering, it's the live service Sony game. and like it takes place after Forbidden West. So Aloy goes out on her own. She has to fight Nemesis wherever that is. But yeah, because of things that happened, the machines kind of get riled up and they attack the Zero Dawn lands basically. So people have to, yeah, you have like they're recruiting these new characters to fight against the machines in these repeatable missions. But they also have episodes, what they call, and those are basically the story campaign. And I did one of those episodes. I think this was one of the early ones that they had in the test. And at one point, at the end of that mission, there's a cutscene, or you basically use your focus or so, or like Hermes is like scanning something. I don't know what's happening. Either way, you see this sort of raider guy, the new like sort of the new villain sort of tribe, basically the bandits, but they're called raiders now, and they're talking to this like teenager, and she uses like Gen Z slang, and she says like shit, and it feels so out of place for a Horizon game. And if you played the playtest, then you know what I'm talking about. And I looked at the Discord server they had, and I typed in the name of the character, Dora, or yeah, I think it's not Dora, it's Donsa or something. Either way, and everyone was like, "What the heck is this character?" And it just, I was playing the test. I was like, okay, they totally improved a lot. I like the new. They have like a Shadow Karja character who can summon a Stalker, a pretty cool character. So I was like, okay, they totally improved. Like, it's still not a game that I would enjoy. I still think it's very sad that they're making this instead of Horizon 3 or a new single-player game. Like, it's so much wasted resource, so much wasted time, so much wasted money. But they're continuing, and yeah, it's still Guerrilla Games. They know how to make a good-feeling game. But then I get to the end of that mission with that cutscene, and I'm like, what am I watching? It feels really like they're trying to reach this Gen Z audience with this game by giving this. It really reminded me of the Borderlands 3 villains, the streamers, right? Where they were also like, yeah, we're gonna make these streamer characters and they will probably go over well. And they were so cringe. And now you have this like very beefy raiders, like this cool guy on his knees, kind of begging this teenage whoever the heck Gen Z girl who's like ordering him around. I'm like, what the heck are we doing? Sorry, that's my rant. That is my rant for Horizon Hunters Gathering. Okay, I'm gonna end the poll here. There will, yeah. Okay, we got another super chat here. You might not know just game. I can't wait for Blackwood. It's a gun food John Wick style game, but I'm gonna get Black Flag Resync too. Well, you got a great taste, and I might want to check that out. Blackwood. And then I'm gonna quickly do the September video, because, oh my god, there are too many games. Oh yeah, this totally looks like John Wick. But yeah, if you, I'm not sure, Armani Coleman, if you play 007 First Light, because the freaking the melee combat in that game is amazing. It's so fun. Like, that is the cool part about 007. I think it nails almost everything it's trying to do, and it has no business feeling as good to shoot, feeling as good to fight. Oh man, I cannot recommend that game enough. But yeah, this totally looks interesting. But like, after playing 007 First Light, oh wow, I do like the settings here in the metro. That's awesome. But yeah, that it will be hard for games to have a better melee combat than 007, I think. The Arkham games come close, but I would prefer actually 007. I would prefer. Would you rather have Hunters Gathering or Fair Games? Look, I would rather have Fair Games, because if Guerrilla was then working on an actual good game, like if like I think the live service strategy is not a bad one. Like, it makes sense for Sony to try and get these games out, that these multiplayer games that an audience wants to play. There are people who want to play these games, obviously. But don't put your prestige studios, who have no experience making those games, who could also be making a game that people actually want, that will not cause significant layoffs for their studio. Like, put them on a game that nobody wants. And, like, there are multiple layers to the whole Horizon Hunters Gathering thing, because I don't think a multiplayer Horizon game is a bad idea. Just make it like Monster Hunter. Why is that so hard to understand? But no, they thought they wanted to reach a Fortnite audience, and they're making it for an audience that I don't think exists. And then, combined with the fact that because of that game, Horizon 3 is delayed, because of that game, who knows when that game will come out, the new single-player game. We don't know if Horizon will come to Xbox, but they might do it, because I think they need every player they can get. But that would suck. Like, if you're on Xbox and you're like, oh, I can play a Horizon game, and it's not an Horizon game. That is my biggest thing. Still not sold on the Black Flag combat. I get it, but I will make videos showcasing the cool stuff you can do. Like I said, I totally think there will be people that will prefer the old school combat, because it is quite different. I like the newer combat, and I think there's more depth, and you can do some very cool things with it. And man, I can't wait for that game. Philip asking about where they will show the Jedi 3 teaser. I mean, it could be at the Xbox event. It could be at Jeff Keighley's show. I think Jeff Keighley's show makes more sense. It could also be that it will not be there. Like, I think it's a coin flip. But there are rumblings that we see it. And the rumblings for this state of play have been very good. For sure. So I'm assuming no PC port for the new God of War. Yeah, Luke's gone. No PC ports for any of the Sony games you saw. So for Wolverine, for God of War, Laufey, for Until Dawn 2, these will remain on PlayStation 5, just like Saros and Ghost of Yote. The old school combat was outdated even when Black Flag first came out. I agree, RoboWizzo. And again, like, I think it's good that they put the extra time in to make the combat more modern. But they are changing some of the design philosophies behind the combat, because the old school combat was really about making you feel like an instant badass, and you as like a one-man army taking on hundreds of soldiers. Maybe not hundreds, but you could take on a group of 15 soldiers easily in the old games. And I think that will be harder in Black Flag Resynced, or at least you have to work way more for it. I prefer that, but again, I do know people that don't prefer that. So that's where I'm coming from, where I'm like, I do think there will be people like, oh, I like Black Flag Resynced. I did prefer the older combat. Although I would always ask those people, when did you play the combat for the last time? Did you go back? Because then you will probably realize that the combat is not that amazing in the original. But some people have maybe more fond memories of it than it actually was. Although, yeah, if you like the Hidden Blade combat, yeah, then I totally get it. Then, yeah, you will not find that in Black Flag Resynced. And I overall think only having the dual swords in a game like Mirage, only having your sword and dagger, I think makes more sense. That is a more stealth-focused game. That is a game that is only 15 hours, or a bit more. Black Flag Resynced, if you want to do everything, you're easily 40 hours. And then only having 2 weapons, or like 1 weapon type, basically. It's not enough. It's like having an RPG, like the Origins, with 1 weapon type. That's not enough, and yeah, we will see. Couldn't stop. Do you think September games will get delayed? We're gonna talk about September games right now. I think it's gonna be fun to go over them. I'm gonna look at some more video or like questions, and while I'm searching for trailers for all these games. But I think it will be fun to kind of go over each game as well quickly. But yeah, the main thing will obviously be the amount of freaking games that are coming out. Because it's getting crazy. It's getting crazy. And I, of course, want to know which one you are going to pick up. Because I think that's another part where we will have to make choices. And I think that, like, it's good that we get many games. And most of them are single-player games. But I, of course, especially on just this channel as well, like to look also at the business side of gaming. And it's never good to have, like, a couple of similar games launch at the same time that want money from the same audience. That's just not going to work. And if you have, and like some of these games like Blood of Dawnwalker, I think it's easily 50 hours if you want to do everything. So that is kind of crazy. Like, you can easily spend a lot of time in that game and get through the month, but then there are a ton of other games coming as well. We will have to make a choice and put stuff in the backlog, yeah, for sure. And I think some companies will be fine if their game underperforms, but some of these companies, I think they will kind of hurt, and I do think that, like, I also think that if those games would launch in a different period, where, like, a July, if, for example, Control Resonant was, like, end of July, I think that game would have probably done way better than September 24th. So, yeah. That is very interesting indeed. They think we got 4 terabyte. Gothic Remake Blood of Dawnwalker. Interesting choice. Gothic Remake is out now. Have you been playing? Or no, it's out in 2 days. Never played the OG Black Flag. I'm excited for Resync. Nice. I think that is the best way to experience Resync if you have not played the original, because then you will experience the story obviously for the first time with way better graphics. You will not really have the preference. Oh, I like the new combat over the old one. You will just be like, oh, this is the combat. So, and you have like a way more in-depth naval system. Like, I think that's usually with remakes, obviously. Like, Lost was Part 1. I played through that again, and it did not do the same for me as playing through The Last of Us for the first time, obviously. But I think for Black Flag Resync, it's a bit different because it's an open world game and they changed a lot to the exploration as well. So that is for sure exciting. I think Jeff's one last thing will be Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3. He already did with Rebirth. I think Jedi 3 would be the one more thing that you want to have if you are Jeff. Or Judas with a release date, like something like that. But I think having Final Fantasy VII Part 3 again, look, that would still be solid. But I think that would tell us a lot about the rest of the show. I don't think that's... Yeah, I don't know. When do you think we see Injustice 3 or Hogwarts 2? I think Hogwarts 2 is next year. I think Injustice 3 is next year too. But I don't think they're doing Injustice 3. They seemingly are doing another DC fighting game. Control Resonant just posted PC requirements. Yeah. Do you think we will get Devil May Cry 7 or 6? I never, like I said, I've never like really trusted those Devil May Cry rumors. Like, I totally think we will get a new game, but I think they want to have Onimusha out first. Then, like, maybe the one more thing is like a Resident Evil reveal with Jeff. Like, I think Devil May Cry is further out. So I think we will... They want to get Onimusha out first. I think. Okay, let's do the video here. So, if you're new, thanks for joining, everyone. We have a lot of viewers, so I really appreciate that. Of course, subscribe to the channel. It would really, be appreciated. I post, of course, videos where I react to the news and give my thoughts, etc. on this channel as well. And sometimes during this weekly Wednesday stream, I also like to record a video that will then go live later. So we're going to do that now which means that I will be focused on the video. Or basically, like, I will just record it here live. So you can just sit back, enjoy, and then afterwards we can discuss a bit further in the chat. So let's get into it. One of the big takeaways from the new State of Play is the fact that September and October are going to be a bloodbath. Like, it's going to be insane. Nobody has the time and money for all these games, but they're all coming out. So in this video, I want to look at all the new release dates for games we have. The crazy part is Summer Game Fest is still ongoing. I will probably do like an updated video as well later, because not even all the games are like have a release that will probably end up in that window. Gears of War E-Day, for example, that is also rumored for September. So let's look at the crazy time that is September right now, and yeah, go over these games. Let me know in the chat if you're watching live, or in the comments which one you look into like picking up, because we will have to make choices. And like, my point basically is that it won't be good for the people putting out games, that they will not get the sales and attention that they probably would have gotten in another window. But the reality, of course, is that GTA 6 is looming. And we also now have a new game that is the closest to GTA 6. And I think that also shows you, and we will talk about that game in a second, that also shows you how far they want to go, and how November is basically the danger zone. You want to get out. You don't want to be in November, because then people will be hyped for GTA and not care about your game. So, of course, during the State of Play, yeah, we had a lot of new information. But the Blood of Dawnwalker is the first one up, September 3rd. Wolverine on the 15th. Dune Awakening, that's the survival game for the PC. That is already out on PC. It's coming to console now. And I first did not care. Let's immediately or quickly jump to that game first. I first did not care, but they are actually going to do a story mode for that game. Or like a more single player focused mode. They announced that here at one point. So that is pretty interesting, that they're like, I was like, okay, I don't care, because it's a survival game, you run around with other players, there's like PvP. But no, they're like, no, we are doing a story mode as well. And I think the movie is actually coming out around this time too. So we already had a very crazy September, and then they decide to put this here now with single player. Like, I kind of want to play that now. Because, yeah, the sort of multiplayer focus and more MMO focus of the PC release kind of turned me off. But if we can just, like, play this game as, like, a story game, I think that's way more exciting. So that is another big release that we have. Control Resonant on September 24th. Of course, Hellsauce already launched last year, but now it's coming to Switch 2 as well. Silent Hill Downfall on September 24th as well. Onimusha Wave the Sword, September 25th. Ace Combat, this September 28th is like the early access release, but yeah, that kind of counts. Onimusha has a demo out, by the way, right now. But like, my point mostly is that these are all third-person action games. Some of them are RPGs. They're all for the same audience. Blood of Dawnwalker is going up first, although, and that is another game that will get a release date probably during the Xbox Showcase, is the new Plague Tale game, Resonance, A Plague Tale Legacy. It's coming to Game Pass day one, so that's why it's likely at the Xbox Showcase. That has an August 27th release date. And if you know Plague Tale, that new game is also a bit more action-focused, instead of the stealth from the other two games. But yeah, that's another one of those third-person action games where, yeah, they're kind of going for the same audience. But yeah, Blood of Dawnwalker, like, I want to get lost in this world. I love the premise of this game, where you're this, like, more regular guy during the day, and then during the night you are this vampire with completely different powers. You can transform into a wolf. You can, like, wall glide or whatever we're doing here, like You have tackling missions during night and during day is completely different in this game, and I think that's very exciting. This is and it's kind of maybe sounds crazy, this is a JorRaptor game in the sense of this is a big open world RPG with like many systems, many loot to find. Like there's a ton here. This would have been a game that I would like cover a lot throughout the month, but now I will probably also have Wolverine around that time. And that's another third person. Like, you could argue that actually the combat. Obviously, I think the Wolverine combat will be better, but the vampire combat in this game, where we have the claws, right? We're using the claws, we have the ability wheel right here. And then going to. Okay, we're parrying with the claws. And then going to the gameplay here, like, okay, yeah, we have the ability wheel right here. We're using the claws. We're parrying with the claws. Obviously, totally different games. This will be way more linear, etc., etc. But like, I think if you are interested in Wolverine, you're probably in the market for Blood of Dawnwalker as well. I think Wolverine will be really great, but for me, Wolverine. I want to know what the length will be of this game, because I've said many times, like, if Spider-Man 2 as an open world game is 20 hours and Wolverine will be way more linear, I struggle to believe that it will be 20 hours as well. Like, I think this is going to be a 10-hour game probably, and a very fun ride, pun intended. But like, yeah, I want to see what the full package for this game looks like. But yeah, this is gonna be a huge game. Like, this will probably be the best-selling game of September for sure, and makes sense. Like, we have Insomniac, it's amazing. But then you go to freaking Control Resonant, who announced their release date. We got the story trailer right here. Of course, the environments in these games always look amazing. Remedy knows what's up. This might be the highest rated game of September, like in terms of Metacritic score. Remedy always delivers, and yeah, I think this is going to be a very good game. But of course, the previous Control was a shooter, like a third-person shooter. I'm not sure. Yeah, this has some combat here too. But of course, now we play Dylan, a different character who is a melee-focused character. So yes, this is another one, third-person action RPG with a melee-focused character. And it's going for that same type of audience. Again, I can't wait for this game. This might be my most anticipated. Because we got another one. Another melee-focused action game with RPG elements on the 25th, so one day after Control. I love playing this game at Gamescom. So basically, you already heard, like, I'm struggling to kind of see what do I have to pick up. I think they will all be of quality. I think Blood of Dawnwalker is probably the biggest question mark, where, like, I think it's going to be a very special game, but I hope, like, they have a lot of moving parts. It's pretty ambitious. So I hope they are able to hit it, because you kind of see that they don't have like, it's some of the Witcher developers, so that, of course, makes me excited for it. But you also see they don't have the CDPR budget, right? Onimusha, though, I played it at Gamescom, and I was really blown away. It looks like a Souls-like game, but it is more an action-focused game. It sure is challenging, but not as, like, crazy as a FromSoft game. And it just feels amazing to play. They have a demo out right now. I think that's the one that I played at Gamescom. I just loved how you could kind of coordinate. Like, at one point, you know, okay, this enemy dies from this combo, so you can kind of play around with it. There are just a lot of cool moves you can do. We already saw them use the environment. I totally recommend checking out the demo. But this is one of those games where I also think, like, you can probably spend tens of hours in this easily. But I don't know, like, what are we gonna choose? I'm kind of struggling. Now, luckily, Phantom Blade Zero got delayed, because previously this game was gonna be September 9th. So then you would have Blood of Dawnwalker September 3rd, this game September 9th, and then Wolverine September 10th, and then Onimusha September 24th, and Control September 25th. That is insane to say that all in one breath. but they delayed it. And that is, I think, nice. Like, October 29th right now, that is that GTA release date I was talking about. Because if we go here, it's pretty funny to kind of see. We see Phantom Blade Zero here, and then GTA. This is also very funny. The only game in November, GTA. First, Call of Duty is not even on this list. It's always fascinating to me when I like look at these lists. None of them are complete. But yeah, Call of Duty, the biggest game of the year, apart from GTA, not on this list. That is October 23rd. But like this seems, October 29th seems to be the final day that you want to put out your game in 2026. Because you want to... And like, it makes sense, right? If you think about it, the marketing machine for Rockstar at one point will go in overdrive. And I remember, like, even GTA 5, I'm that old. I'm not that old. But I remember being, like, on the internet for GTA 5. Every freaking screenshot they dropped. I think at one point posted one screenshot a day. It was craziness. People were, like, breaking it down. People were... Like, there was no room for something else. And that was in 2013, when there were not as many games out as there are right now. And, like, around this time, around October 29th, again, the moment November hits, and GTA is really still coming out November 19th, it will feel tangible, it will feel real. It will be like, oh my god, we're actually getting GTA 6, which right now still to me feels like a fantasy. I still don't believe the game is real until we finally see gameplay. But yeah, it is coming. The game companies know. So, October 29th, it is that window where you can still hopefully launch your game and be hopeful that people are not saving up money or only focused on GTA 6. But after that, it's over. And that's why all these games are, of course... like piling on top of each other. And like I said, there will be more. Gears of War, Halo, the remake of Halo 1 is still somewhere, like that is seemingly a July game, which would be great. Again, Plague Tale is going to be here. Gears of War is going to probably be in the September 25th window too, or maybe the week before, so like the 22nd. If that comes to PS5 as well, which I'm not sure, but it might. That's crazy. Like, I personally would like some of these games to be delayed. And either if, like, I don't care. Onimusha Control, like, Wolverine is gonna come out no matter what. I think Bluff Dawnwalker, maybe they move. Like, that is like a new game from a new studio. I think, like, they will probably release a solid game. But with these studios, it's probably their second game is gonna be the Assassin's Creed 2 moment, the Uncharted 2 moment, right? But maybe they will not get that chance because they're dropping in this bloodbath. Remedy needs a win after Alan Wake 2 failed, like it broke even, I think, after 2 years or something. Like, that should have been a home run. FBC Firebreak, their most recent game, you probably already forgot about. Like, they need this game to sell a couple of million units. And I struggle to see how that will do it in this month. Although, times are changing as well, with some of these games just selling more over time. And I think a lot of them are banking on that, right? That you're launching early, you got your people that are excited. We will have to make choices. Again, let me know in the chat or let me know in the comments which one of those you're going to pick up. But then hopefully around November, around December, you do that discount, and then people will pick up these games that they maybe, forgot about. And these are the only games in 2026. Like, November, December will not have any new games. It will just be GTA. So that might be a silver lining here, where not everyone will play GTA for forever. Sure, it will dominate. But I do think at one point in mid-December, people are like, I'm ready for other games. What did I miss? And then hopefully those September and October games can get the love with maybe a discount. And that is maybe what they are banking on. They want to get out in 2026 because, of course, delaying also means you're spending more time on your dev team. The team cannot work on the sequel or whatever the next game is, etc. So, it is the interesting, yeah, sort of realistic thing. I still think it would be good if maybe 2 moved. Blood of Dawnwalker, maybe in like a control. Move forward if that's possible too. I would love that. Control in July again, I think would be a slam dunk, but we will see. Let me know what you think. But yeah, that is what I think of this situation. But again, it's gonna get crazier. I might do an update. Curious to hear your thoughts, and I will speak to you soon. Goodbye. Of course, I'm not leaving. This is just my. This is the end of that video. But yeah. Gears of War E-Day already confirmed to come later to PlayStation. Okay, nice. Lego Batman was worth the 75. GTA 6 is a milestone in history for sure. Keep the picture in frame 53 Night says. I know which picture you mean. Demo for Animusha is great. Nice, Saber Knight. Animusha is a vibe, right? Yeah, it's really good. Jojo, Animusha or Phantom Blade, I think Phantom Blade is the going to be the better game. Animusha demo showed a few more mechanics that were not present in the SGF demo. Awesome. I will have to download the demo. What about the Xbox Live on Sunday and Xbox releases? Melissa, like I said, like Gears of War and Halo are the ones that are still coming this year. I think Clockwork, Fable, of course, already got delayed. Fable was still like first supposed to be in that period as well. So, yeah, I'm going to live stream the Sunday showcase. I will be live streaming Summer Game Fest as well, Melissa. Those streams are on the main channel, so you can check them out there. Morphology said, did you watch the videos about the new God of War Cory Barlog interview with game director? No, I still want to do that. Yeah. No, GTA won't be at Summer Game Fest. They will take their own. They will just occupy. The summer. Like, I hope for Ubisoft that they're not going to drop like the third trailer when Black Flag releases, but nothing they can do about it. I really hope Control Resonance succeeds too. I know Remedy last couple of days haven't been quite financially successful, even though they got critically succeeded. Exactly. So yeah, that is kind of where we're at with that. Is Kena coming in September, Fassy? I like them not showing up at the State of Play is a red flag to me. Like, I could see that game drop in December maybe because they will be part of like the September State of Play. I think it's probably gonna get delayed to next year. Gears of War will be September. That's the rumor. 53 Nights. I saw Jess Gordon publish a video on the Xbox Game Showcase and his predictions. So let's see if he has some interesting things to talk about. 12 months of content, 12 features titles slated for the next 12 months. So that's exciting because Clockwork then likely means that it's coming out before next June. Microsoft has been burned through early prototype. Yeah, okay. Already talking about Bethesda. I would love to see Project Machine Games or ID Software, Doom Dark Age DLC. Okay. I mean, that game really needs a second life. Rumors suggest that it's a tactical Machine Games. Oh yeah, it has like a Rainbow Six style game. Okay. But yeah, Wolfenstein 3 is of course more exciting. Yeah, Blade. One thing I'm expecting to see is Blade. Yeah, I think Blade is gonna be very exciting. That's of course the new game from Arcane Lyon. I love Arcane, Dishonored, Deathloop. Both are amazing. So getting Blade, I think it's gonna be amazing. It's a third-person game though, so I'm curious. I am curious. Microsoft also has a variety of other projects. Yeah, here coming soon. Already showed Clockwork Revolution. Blah blah blah. Fable got delayed, but we'll probably get a deeper look at some systems. Yeah, okay, so he's not like really adding a lot to it. I think Clockwork will probably get like the early 2027 or like first half of 2027 release date. Mysterious Elsewhere Entertainment. Probably slated for late 2027. So that's a new Activision style game. I'm almost certain we will see State of Decay 3. Like, Xbox has a ton of big games still coming, of course. I think this show is gonna be pretty cool. Also because they, of course, have Asha Sharma as like the new CEO. This is her first show. Other studios I'm not expecting much from are Rare, Obsidian, Compulsion. Yeah, that makes sense. They already, of course, went. I've heard Ninja Theory and Double Fine have more ambitious projects in the work. That makes sense. I expect it to be too early to catch a glimpse. Blizzard, long rumored, are also likely being kept for BlizzCon. Yeah, exactly. Nostalgia, Toys for Bob, long rumored Spyro project. Backwards compatibility announcements. I know there's a new trailer for Floating Around, and it's a bit unclear. Microsoft wants to position it as a multi-platform title, giving its outing on PlayStation. Okay. Indeed, there will be many eyeballs on Gears of War E-Day. Should be fantastic. Okay, he's not like really adding a lot of extra stuff. No, he's not really adding a lot of extra things. But yeah, it's gonna be a good show. I hope they have some cool new game reveals as well. Third party will be there too. Like I think Persona 6 might be there. But yeah. We thought 2025 was stacked. This year is insane. Like 2027 will probably be maybe even bigger. I don't know. It feels like Sony like will launch Intergalactic and God of War next year, which is crazy. And Until Dawn. That is crazy. Xbox will like have a ton of stuff. So yeah, it's good stuff. I'll be going offline now. Thanks everyone for watching. I still have some short content to make and of course other stuff. So hope you had a great time. I really had a great time. I'll be back next week with the weekly stream. But of course I will do streams before that. I'm gonna share the links in the video in the chat right now if you're on YouTube. Because I'll of course be this Friday going live with the Xbox with the regular Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Showcase that I'm putting out here. So yeah, that is the plan for now. And yeah, I hope to see you during those live reactions, of course. And yeah, in my other content as well. Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate you. And Blaze Flame still has 2 questions. Don't you think State of Play did overhyped? No. You should go in with realistic expectations. They revealed a ton of big games. Do you think September State of Play will have big announcements? I don't think so. I think it will have intergalactic gameplay. Maybe the God of War game again if they have the release date. I think the State of Play will be after Wolverine, so I think that's good. That they will then shift focus to the other big games. But I think it will still be fun, but it's not going to be very big. I think because of GTA taking the air out of the room. But yeah, I think the State of Play was great. Lots of cool games, lots of release dates, lots of questions were being answered.